Welcome to Understand the Math. In this problem, we're going to do some matrix multiplication. We're given a matrix A, a matrix B, and a matrix C, and we're asked to compute AB, AB transpose, AC, and then C squared. Whenever you do matrix multiplication, you want to look first at the sizes of the matrices to make sure that you can multiply them. So I'm going to start by writing down that matrix A is a 2 by 3 matrix. Matrix B is a 3 by 2 matrix. And then matrix C is a 2 by 2 matrix. The first entry is always the number of rows. And then the second entry is always the number of columns in the matrix. Let's first see if we can compute matrix product AB. We're going to write down the size of A, which is 2 by 3. And then let's write down the size of B, which is 3 by 2. These two inner numbers are going to cancel, and we're going to be left with a 2 by 2 matrix. Because these two numbers are the same, we can multiply these two matrices. Let's go ahead now and compute A times B. We'll go ahead and copy down matrix A. And then let's copy down matrix B. Our first entry is going to come from multiplying this row times this column. This is going to give us 2 plus 6 plus 15. And then let's go ahead and erase that line. We're going to multiply the first row times now the second column. So this entry in the upper right is going to be a 10 minus 2 plus 5. Now let's look at the second row. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase our pink lines. And we're going to multiply this row times this column. This is going to give us in the lower left 1 minus 12 plus 9. And then let's erase that blue line and we'll add 1 over here. And we're going to multiply that row and that column. And in the lower left, we're going to get a 5 plus 4 plus 3. This gives us that our product AB is going to be the matrix. Let's see, we have 8 plus 15, so we get a 23. And then a 15 minus 2 is a 13. And then we have a 10 minus 12, which gives us a minus 2. And then lastly, a 9 plus 3 gives us a 12. So that's matrix AB. The next one on our list to compute is AB transpose. When you take the transpose of a matrix, the first row becomes the first column. Let me show you how that works. So we come over here to matrix AB, and we take our first row, and that's going to become our first column. So we're going to get a 23 and a 13. And then our second row is going to become our second column, and that's equal to minus 2 and 12. So we can write it down more clearly. AB transpose is our matrix 23 minus 2, 13, and 12. If our matrix is square, there's another thing that you can do. Let me go ahead and I'm going to get a purple line here. You can draw a line through the diagonal, and then the transpose just has the entries on the opposite side of the diagonal switched. Let's look at our next product. Our next product is A times C. Let's see if we can actually multiply these. Our matrix A is a 2 by 3 matrix, 2 rows and 3 columns. And then matrix C is a 2 by 2 matrix. Notice that these two entries are not equal. So because these two numbers are not equal, we cannot multiply matrix A times matrix C, and we say that our product AC is undefined. Let's now go ahead and look at our last one. Our last one is matrix C squared. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write down again what matrix C is. Let's take a peek here. 5, 4, minus 1, 3. Okay, now we're all set. We're going to compute C squared. So let's take a matrix C, 5, 4, minus 1, 3, and let's multiply it by a matrix C, 5, 4, minus 1, 3. We're going to do the same thing that we did up above. We're going to take the first row and multiply it by the first column, and that's going to give us 25 minus 4. And then the first row times the second column. Let me go ahead and highlight that. And that's going to give us 5 times 4, which is a 20. And then we add to that a 12. Now we're going to do the similar thing for the second row. We're going to take this second row times our first column. And that's going to give us a minus 5, minus 3. And then let's go ahead and let's erase some things here. We're going to take our second row, which I've highlighted in blue, and now we're going to multiply that by our second column. And this is going to give us a minus 4 plus 9. So C squared is equal to 21, 32, and then in the second row we have a minus 8, and we have a 5. Before we end this problem, I just want to highlight one mistake that I see students make a lot. I want to let you know that C squared is not equal to 5 squared, 4 squared, minus 1 squared, and 3 squared. It's really tempting to think when you square a matrix that you just square each entry, but you don't. That's actually going to give you the wrong answer. And what you have to do is go about it multiplying each row by each column, just like we did right here. If you're ever confused which row or column to multiply by, you can look at the number. Let me show you how this works. We can set C squared equal to C11, C12, C21, C22. So let's just look at this one, for example. This means that when we find C squared, we're going to take the first row of C and we're going to multiply it by the second column of C. That might help you if you can't remember which row or column to multiply by.
If this video has been helpful to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Keep believing in yourself and have a great rest of your day.